Well, good evening and welcome, everyone. It's great to see a good turnout on this cool night. I would like to welcome the members of council, staff, and members of the public to our February 9th council meeting and call this meeting to order. I'd like to request Mrs. Pearson for the roll call, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Councillor Clark.
Present.
Councillor Hyatt.
Present.
Councillor O'Hara.
Present.
Councillor Patel via electronic participation.
Present.
Councillor Welsh.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Field.
Present.
Mayor Loosely.
Present.
And that is a quorum, Your Worship.
Thank you. And I'd like to request Mrs. Pearson for the Indigenous land acknowledgement, please.
We acknowledge that this land on which we are gathered today is part of the ancestral land of the Chippewa, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi peoples, referred to collectively as the Anishinaabe. The town of Petrolia is located on the land associated with the Huron Tract Treaty number 29 of 1827. We express gratitude for the land where we live, work, and play, and we are committed to working respectfully within the land and the Indigenous peoples who have called this land home.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. At this time, I'd like to request that council declare a conflict of interest now or at the appropriate time and complete the necessary paperwork. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the adoption of the agenda before you. I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to put that on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Deputy Mayor Field. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to adopt as presented the agenda of the February 9th, 2026 regular session of council.
Thank you. Any questions from council? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us now to the consideration of our minutes of our previous meeting held on January the 12th. Again, I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to put that motion on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Hyatt, seconded by Councillor Welsh. And I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to adopt as circulated minutes of the regular meeting of council held on January 12th, 2026.
Thank you. Any questions from council, errors or omissions? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. And at this time, I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for a moment of reflection, please. Thank you. Please be seated. That'll take us to the council roundtable announcements. And first tonight, we're starting with Councillor Patel, please. He's online. I think you're on mute, Councillor Patel.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Loosely. Nothing at this time to share.
Thank you. Councillor O'Hara.
I have nothing at this time to share.
Thank you. Councillor Welsh.
This time.
Wow, thank you. Councillor Clark.
I have nothing either.
My turn's coming. Deputy Mayor Field.
I have nothing at this time.
Well, I just happened a few items here.
Thank you.
Mr. Rick Charlebois, CAO Treasurer, Mrs. Mandy Pearson, Director of Legislative Services, Deputy Operations Clerk, and I took part in a Teams meeting regarding the renovations to the CEE Hospital, hopefully to start in late spring. It was a very good meeting with special thanks to Mr. Will Nywinning, Senior Planner with the county, for his work and report for our consideration. Deputy Mayor Field, Councillor Clark, and Patel and I attended the Roma Conference in Toronto on Sunday, January the 18th to Tuesday, January the 20th. It was a great conference and was well attended, and the sessions were geared to small municipalities. I have the program for anyone interested in reading the sessions. I attended the Lambton County Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, January 21st, and received the county budget for consideration for approval in February. I am very pleased to state that this is a good thing and the earliest the budget has been released in my 8 years on County Council. I attended the Chamber of Commerce After 5 event on behalf of council and staff on Wednesday, January 21st in Sarnia at the Two Amigos. It was a great event and a good time had by all. I also attended the Lambton Federation of Agricultural Annual General Meeting on Friday, January the 23rd, and brought greetings on behalf of council and staff. The event took place at the Wyoming Fairgrounds. And again, this was another great meeting and successful event. I attended the Lambton Heart Hub official opening on Monday, January 26th. The event was held at 275 Wellington Street in Sarnia, which is the old Skit School. Again, this was a great opening with a full house and great news for the County of Lambton. And I do have some information for anyone interested in reading it. And I took part in the Lambton County budget deliberations on Wednesday, February the 4th, and I'm pleased to announce that the budget increase would be 3.72% compared to over 5% last year. This was also the earliest the budget had been approved in my 7 years on county council. And that's all I have. That'll take us on now to correspondence. I'll ask for a motion for A to H unless council wishes to pull anyone out separately.
And your worship, we did have notification from Deputy Mayor Field that he wishes to pull out item C.
That's
Oh, sorry.
B or D?
No, is that the one for the policing?
It is.
Yeah, it's municipal policing, so it's not really applicable to the
Okay.
OPD, so I was not gonna.
All right, I'll ask for a motion first and then see if you want to withdraw anything. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by
Sure.
Councillor Hyatt. Any questions regarding those correspondence items? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? And that
The
vote
mayor
carries.
changes his mind on me. No.
I did. I should have had you read that. Thank
I
you.
told everybody but you.
Everybody.
Yeah,
but me.
everybody does. At this time, the correspondence, there is none for consideration, but that'll take us to delegations and presentations, and we have a few. I'd like to ask Mr. Wade Babula to come forward, and Joe Sobalski, is Joe here? Okay, please come forward up here. And go ahead, Wade, the floor is yours.
I was going to say, do I have the option of nothing to report sometime?
You're down here to report, so you better
Pleasure to be
report.
here. Yeah, so obviously, thank you, Your Worship, and councillors, town of Petrolia employees, and everyone else who came. I know you didn't all come for me, right? So thank you for inviting me back here. I like coming here every year. Annual report, just kind of let you guys know how things are at the Y and, things we plan to do next year as well. So with that, yeah, we're happy to celebrate. This is coming into our 8th year, I believe, with our partnership. So we're really pleased how that's gone. And, Julie and I have been talking very regularly with, even today. Just we had our regular meetings with Rick as well and Annette, and just staying on top of everything, the building and operations. So yeah, next slide. Oh, she's already there. Look at that summary. She's on it. So yeah, just a quick summary of what I'll go over today. Obviously some memberships, a little bit about our departments, some of our community connections, and like I said, some 2026 outlook. So with that, we'll move on to memberships, please. So just some stats. So, we'll start off with our access. Last year, we were about 70,000 total swipes. This year, up to 72,000. So, we're seeing that little bit of an increase. Our year-end membership last year was 1150. We saw 1185. So again, we're just seeing that kind of steady increase year to year. Last year, we managed to hit a peak of about 1330 in March. Right now, this morning, that's wrong there. 1260 was actually 1280. So even that we're getting closer to where we'd like to be with our memberships. Ideally, we'd like to be over that 1,300 number. If we could get to 1,400 would be fantastic. And I know we've got a few ideas in the works to try and push those numbers up for sure. But again, we're still seeing that steady progress from year to year as there's still some of that post-COVID recovery that we're still dealing with, right? And, but we're very happy with where things are moving there. One of our focuses this year as well was financial assistance. So the Y being nonprofit and a charity, we're able to support families that maybe have financial barriers. And so with that, last year we were about 17% of our membership was financially assisted. This year that number's moved to 21%, or like you can see there, about 260 of our membership base. So we're really pleased to see that families are utilizing that, which of course means the more families that are utilizing that, the more that are coming to the Y. So we're really happy to see that. And you can kind of see a breakdown. So we do have 3 membership tiers there. Our essentials is just our fitness membership. Our enhanced is when people have access to our group fitness classes, and the everything is the pool. So as you can see, a lot of people are utilizing the pool, which is good. Almost over half our membership base. So, and actually, I think I heard that Moortown might be closing their pool for a little bit. So hopefully we see a little bit of a boost with that as well. So next slide, please. Community starts here. So as I said, we are a charity and one of our goals is to raise money. So to give right back to our membership base, which is what you see there. So $39,000 this year was, or in 2025 is what we raised and went directly back to our financial assistance. Or sorry, 39,000 was given to our financial assistance program, we'll say. With that, you can see just our branch alone raised $23,000 of that, as well as a lovely contribution from council for $5,000. Thank you again for that. Last year we raised 16,000. So we really pushed this last year, gathering donations from many service clubs, and some of which are in attendance tonight. And yeah, really just to help, again, that bottom line financial assistance that we can provide. Fill the Bus is a big campaign that we do every year. And last year we had 23 kids that we send to camp, is kind of how we word that. A $200 donation is an approximate cost of camp. So that's kind of our standard asking in the community. And again, we had lots of community service clubs and individuals throughout town make donations to that. Last year we raised $4,500 for that. This year, $6,500. So again, we're really seeing the community buy in and support what we're doing in the community there. So next slide, please. Getting into some department news. So new programs in fitness and personal training group fitness. I'll kind of break those down a little bit. So some new programs we added in 2025. There was a program that used to be called Game On, ran for many years. We've renamed it to be Empower Play. And we've also added a secondary program, Empower Minds. So these programs are for adults with disabilities at no cost. They can come and play in the gymnasium, which is the Empower Play aspect. Sometimes they'll bring in, guests. Like they'll do bingo. They had OPP there, I think last week. They brought in service dogs. So lots, and the drums, they love the drums. And so really engaging. Then we've added the Empower Minds aspect. So it's a little bit more, some puzzles and crafting and just that real social where it's not as active. And we've gotten a really good response out of both of those programs. And we're really pleased with how those have gone. Another new program, we've added about 3 or 4 different yogas this year. We were really happy at the end of 24 to get 2 new yoga instructors certified. And we've seen that immediate results from that. Is now we're offering 5 yoga classes, which I believe is top 3 in our association on classes offered, which is really exciting there. Another one we added this year was Woman on Weights. So this was a program that Brenda, our supervisor, discovered from somewhere else in Ontario, a different branch or association, and decided to bring it to ours. And basically it's a way of empowering women who maybe aren't very comfortable going to the weight room, using some of the equipment. And so we've ran 2 sessions of it, both sold out with wait lists immediately and resounding results. So this is one we're definitely planning on continuing throughout 2026 and beyond. And hopefully some of our sister branches jump on and take it as well. So really happy with that one. In 2025, we, thanks to the authorization of council, got some new fitness equipment. So the new ellipticals and bikes and a ski machine, I believe, is what we received in 2025. Looks great. We're very pleased. The members were obviously very pleased. And, we hear from them all the time, just it's good to see that the town and the Y are both investing in the facility. I believe this year is the 20th anniversary of that branch. So, it's good to see the partnership is investing in the facility. I do believe you're deliberating later on spin bikes. So thank you. And I'll speak very briefly on that. We currently have 13 spin bikes. And, some days, unfortunately, we do have to turn a couple people away because we just don't have the capacity. So our request is for 15 spin bikes this year, and they're the same brand and make that we've had for 20 years. So we know it's a reliable brand. We know how to fix them if they do go wrong. So, hoping for a yes. We continued our Learn to Play for pickleball this year as well. As I'm sure you guys have heard many times, pickleball is kind of a big deal around Petrolia area and surrounding. I think Mike can speak to that as well. So yeah, we've tried to, continue our part in growing the game, and we have a really great instructor, volunteer instructor that comes in and teaches to some people who've never picked up a paddle before or maybe have limited experience. And again, we're seeing those participants continue out into the community and playing on pickup nights and different things. And so we're really pleased with how that program's going. We did run a pickleball tournament again this year. We had 12 teams, which was our new high, and yeah, great results. I can't remember who were you in that one, Mike, or not this year? Yeah, but yeah, so we're seeing that growth for sure. And lastly, just on group fitness in general, like I said, we added yoga programs. We've really got a handle on our schedule. Last year, or sorry, in 2024, we had 15,000 total. We'll say people in classes, and last year we saw that raise to over 18,000 singular uses. So just a lot more people using fitness classes. And this is a focus across the Y for 2026 is to continue to try and increase group fitness across the association. So, we'll gladly invite all the counselors out. If you want to come and attend a spin class or on those new bikes when they come in, I think that might be a pretty good idea. So we'll go to the next slide, please. Child and youth. So we'll start with day camp. Last year, we expanded our day camp offerings. We had maxed out at 280 in 2024. Last year, we tried pushing that to about 360. We saw about 300 total, so a pretty good number. But we were also pretty confident we could push that. So already this year, in registrations that open in January, we've expanded to 420 spots, and we're already at 300 registrations. So we're really, really happy with how the camp has gone. We've got great staff leading that, and it's at the end of the day, it's fun that matters with that age. So we have a good staff team that leads that. And actually, we'll be receiving a check tonight as well from the Petrolia Community Foundation to try and go directly to camp as well, and getting a new tent put up this year as a semi-permanent structure, one that we hope will allow the kids to be outside a little bit more, and provide the gym space for the rest of our members. So there's a little less overlap. And even then they can maybe be out when it's raining because they'll have a covered tent. So we're really looking forward to that. And we think it'll help elevate the camp experience for our staff and for the campers as well. We offered PA camps as always last year, Christmas break camps, and those all sold out at about 90%. We started offering a parents' night out. We used to do it just kind of around Christmas. We decided to offer it monthly, and same thing. I would say it started out, maybe 50% sellouts before summer, and then the last quarter of 2025, every single one of them sold out, 20 kids a night, and we've seen that already in January where we sold it out. So I think parents are really starting to embrace the idea of like, yeah, if I can let someone watch my kid for 3 hours on a Friday night, I think I might take them up on that. So yeah, it's gotten a great response. So again, we're going to continue to do that in 26, and hopefully they continue to all sell out. It's a good moneymaker for us on that aspect for sure. In terms of just general child and youth programming, we did see about 75% of all programs, our art, our gym, our dodgeball, things like that, about 75% filled. So it's a number that we're pleased with enough to continue. Obviously, we'd like to see that grow. So our child and youth supervisor, Tina's got a few strategies she's working on. But yeah, we're pleased with that number as well. Leadership courses, babysitting and home alone. Again, we're still seeing consistent numbers out of those. We have some coming up, I think in March and February. So if you have someone who's of the age that is maybe about to be home alone or babysitting, send them our way. And lastly, our Boomers program, which falls under child and youth community. We've continued that program on as part of our partnership agreement with the town. And the numbers have continued to grow. This year, we're probably averaging, or in 2025, we averaged close to 40, whereas prior to that, we were maybe in the low 30s. So we're really seeing good numbers. We've got a great new cook, Chantel, who's leading the charge there, and she's phenomenal, does a lot more homemade stuff than we've ever had before. We've had people asking for her bread recipe. So yeah, she's fantastic, and we're really thrilled with how the program's going there. So next slide, please. Aquatics. So our member registration, our total registrations has been pretty consistent. We had about 2,000 individual swimmers, 24. We're about the same in 2025. Something that we did add, and I know this was something we discussed in the past, was non-member lessons. So in 2024, when I think we first launched, we saw about 40 non-member lessons, and last year we saw 106. So we definitely saw an increase, and already just in our winter session, we have 43 registered as non-members. So I have a feeling already we're going to eclipse what we did in 2025. So it's great to see that, while some people maybe don't embrace the membership, they're still seeing the value in the swim lessons and are coming and utilizing the pool for that. So rec swimming, we did see a small increase there where we were averaging about 22 per swim. We're seeing about 25. So, over the course of a year, it's just that, those extra swipes that are coming in, that extra value for the membership. So good to see there. We did, at the end of 24, have our aquatic supervisor, Candace, get certified in first aid instruction. So we did run a couple courses last year for the first time just to, see how we get the response. So, those both ran, and we're going to look to expand those even further this year, try and draw in a lot more of the public. Last year, I'd say we focused on making sure all of our own got certified first. So, the idea is that we can expand that and provide a service to the community because we know everybody needs first aid. So our aquafit classes is arguably our most popular class. And again, we certified 2 more instructors last year, and we're again able to offer it every day, sometimes multiple times a day. We're seeing close to 30 people in that class, which if you ever pop your head in there in the morning, that's a full pool. Actually not yesterday morning, I think it was Friday, we had 37. So it was packed. It was rocking. It's great. The Aqua Walk and Aqua Dance are 2 programs that we added in the last year, kind of home driven by some of our employees. And the Aqua Dance specifically has become one of our most popular just in terms of the fun level. They splash each other, they're dancing around, they're having a good time. It's a very upbeat class. So we're really thrilled with Bree, who kind of came up with that idea, and she's already being asked by other branches to kind of teach them how to run it. So we're pleased that how that has gone. We'll go to the next slide because I know this is one that Evan was interested in before. The swim passes. So I think it's safe to say they're working. They're definitely working. So when we launched the program the first year, we saw 37 passes sold. Last year we saw 54. So again, just that slow word of mouth is still coming out. Obviously, we want them to be members, but this is option number 2. They're starting to embrace it. And of those 54, we saw 45 of those redeemed compared to about 30 the year before. And then just the access. When we launched, we had about 113 individual swipes of those cards, and last year 321. So we're seeing that the people that are buying them now are actually like using them instead of just maybe buying and saying, well, I've got it. They're actually coming out and they're using it, which is obviously what we want to see out in the community is, again, people staying active and using the pool. So next slide, please. Community connections. Yeah. We've made a lot and we continue to make more day to day. We have a lot of our consistent ones with our service clubs, Kiwanis, Optimus, Rotary, Lions. This year we got our first donation from IODE. So that was nice to have them on board. That was specifically for our Fill the Bus. As you can see, we host a variety of different events that we'll be hosting this year. As I said, a couple people here sponsored some swims. LCDS sponsored a couple last night. Thank you, Nick. They sponsored some last year as well. It's not listed there, but we did have a total of 15 sponsored swims last year. So that's more than once a month, not including Family Day and Canada Day, which we just offer as a free swim. So, we're very pleased with the support from the community. I'll speak more to a new initiative we're doing in 2026, but we're pretty pleased as well with what that will be. Revelry sponsored swim. They sponsored 7 throughout the summer, which was great. We have a new sponsor this year for a parent taught program, which was the Waste Depot Little Tykes. We managed to get a sponsorship from them to allow free parent and taught on Wednesday mornings. We've had Optimus as a long running sponsor for our Friday morning program, but now we were able to offer a second, and we're seeing pretty consistent participation, and we hear it from the parents that they just love the opportunity for them to come in with their kids at no cost and just let them run around the gym and be free and wild, and then they go and have a nap after, I'm just assuming. So I was going to say, brief personal drop here. I'm going to get used to that. My wife and I are expecting our first in May. So a little girl we just found out. So I'm going to have to bring her and run around the gym soon as well. So yeah, pretty excited.
Take the nap.
Yeah, right. And I'll take the nap too, I'm sure. But yeah, with we did have a partnership with Krabby Joe's for our Boomers program before. As we all know, Krabby Joe's is no longer here, but we were able to establish a new partnership with Heidi's for our Boomers program and just kind of supporting some of those food costs. So we're really happy to have them on board. Makes sense. We do a lot of our grocery shopping there. So Heidi was more than on board to start a partnership. So we're pleased with that one as well. Last year, the Petrolia Community Foundation actually went directly to the Boomers program and upgrading a lot of equipment, some of which was used to make that delicious bread I mentioned earlier. So, we were able to upgrade a lot of the basic kitchen tools and utilities that just were outdated, and we need to put up to speed to be as safe as our staff can be. So, and a lot of those with those partnerships are tying in third-party memberships as well. So, there's a lot of community groups and businesses that we have like I said, those partnerships with, where the reciprocating action of that is their staff and their employees get a membership at a reduced rate as well. And we hear that from a lot of the service clubs, how much they appreciate that. So, and we'll move to our, I guess, final slide. So looking at 2026. So a few things. One thing that Julie and I had spoke, and Rick as well, was finding ways again to try and increase some membership where we can. So I'm currently working with my supervisors on some potential program specific open houses. So again, it might be with new spin bikes. We open up the doors and offer about 4 spin classes in a day and just have people come try it out, see how they like it. Or maybe it's bring your kids to the Y and we'll do a bunch of child and youth. We'll do a gym program, an arts program, things like that. Just trying to invite the community in a few more than we have in the past at no cost to just see what we offer. And hopefully, that in turn that leads to a few more registrations. As I mentioned earlier, something we have coming this year is that the semi-permanent tent, thanks to the grant from the Petrolia Community Foundation. Julie and Rick and myself have been talking a lot about some upgrades to the building. As we said, it's 20 years old, and there's just some of those aesthetic upgrades that painting a few walls and doors and fixing a few, edges and things like that. Maybe I know the lights are a whole other thing, but just some of those aesthetic upgrades that we're looking at doing. So we're having some good conversation with that. And again, just kind of highlighting the strength of our partnership. We, as much as you guys, are very thrilled to have the backyard at the Y fully operational this summer. We're excited to see all the, we already saw just in that little month and a half, 2 months of the splash pad, how much was getting used, and being able to have that change room open and the soccer fields full. We're really excited just to see the activity there. And again, we're going to try and do our part where we can to, make sure our face is out there as well to recruit them to come into the Y as well, get those memberships up. But at the end of the day, it's just more traffic around the building, and it just will feel like a good positive hub. So we're excited. Like I said, I spoke earlier about this new spin bike, so I won't touch on that again. Another initiative that we spoke, Julie and Rick and myself, was about a Welcome to Petrolia package. So new residents to Petrolia, and I think we're almost ready to launch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but where anyone that comes and sets up a new tax account with a new resident will get a 2-week family guest pass. So kind of a welcome to Petrolia, with the idea that this is a nice family hub center that you can come to at the Y. You've got swimming, you've got everything you need, and hopefully with that 2-week membership, it leads to a continued membership beyond that. So it's a new way of trying to draw that crowd in, at least say, hey, here's 2 weeks. At the very least, if you come for 2 weeks and you don't like it, that's okay. At least we're here if you ever change your mind. So, and the last one there is for some monthly themed swims that this was an idea that Candace had found she went to a conference and heard this, and it's a really exciting idea where we're going to try and do a themed swim each month. So for example, with March break, specifically St. Patrick's Day, invite some families in to, have some green cupcakes ready for them and some coins that they can grab and bring out and maybe get a little prize out of it. Or they have a photo booth idea set up, Easter little eggs that maybe have something inside them that they can and they'll float in the water. So you can have fun there. So just trying to really get these interactive ideas, maybe a swim with Santa in December as an option. So I've already reached out to numerous businesses. Actually, I think it's MPP. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob Bailey, right? MPP. I always get those two confused. Has actually committed for 5 swims, which is fantastic. So we're really excited to have him on board for that. And I'll throw an invite out if anyone on council would like to potentially sponsor a swim. We'd love to have you on board, but no pressure. So, but yeah, so that's just another initiative again of trying to get families to come come in at no cost so they can see and feel the experience, and then hopefully we get them to retain after that. So with that, oh, and the last thing I'll say, advisory committee would be the last thing. So we've had the advisory committee now for a full calendar year. This was something that I know we had discussed, I think, a couple of years ago of trying to start. Julie does sit on it just as the town representative. So we have, I believe, 8 of our YMCA members, all from different diversities throughout the building. We meet quarterly and kind of talk about, the positives of what they like, the areas they'd like to see some improvement, what we have up and coming. And they've been a really, really helpful group. There's a few changes that we've implemented because of the advisory committee. One was just a new schedule format because a few of them said they didn't like how the old format was. It was difficult to read. So that was something that came from the advisory committee. So, we're really pleased with how that's gone. Julie might speak to the same hopefully as well. Yeah, we're very pleased with how that's gone, and the members that are involved really express how nice it is to have their voice heard on that kind of next level. So yeah, with that, I think thank you very much for your time tonight. And if there's any questions.
Hang on just for a second. Mr. Babula, before I open it up to council, just a couple of comments. One is council did have a chance to go through all this ahead of time.
Yep.
So it's certainly not new to them. I just want to say I'm really pleased and proud of the YMCA in town. I love to hear things about the new welcome package and the advisory committee starting again. I think it's great. And congratulations on your addition to the family.
Thank you.
But anyway, thank you for your presentation. I'll open it up to council. Does any councilors have any questions? Deputy Mayor Field, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It was great. It was good that you didn't point out the phantom memberships like mine. You just said total count, which was good. And I felt peer pressure. I felt a little pressure here. So, and I'm not getting on your spin bike, but that was the reason I stopped. No, I think it's great. And I think it is great to hear how you've really brought the community in there. You've partnered with a lot of community members. I'm just very happy with the way things are going. So I'll be back soon.
It's family day last year, so we'll hold you to that.
I think I've been there since then.
Any other comments or questions from council? Just for your information too, the spin bike, it did come in at low bid, so I just wanted to let you know that. All right, listen, thank you very much for coming to address council.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. I think what I'd like to do from council, I'd like to get a motion just to adopt his verbal report. Moved by Councillor Hyatt, seconded by Deputy Mayor Field. Would you like to read that motion, I guess?
Sure, that would be for the
Please.
Council of Town of Petrolia to receive with thanks the 2025 year in review is presented.
Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now that'll move us to our next presentation. We have from Mr. Mike Barron, Executive Director of Sarnia Community Foundation. Mike, please come forward.
Thank you, Your Worship, Council, and staff. It's so exciting to always come here because it's always so much positive energy. Today is always an exciting day where we get to come and present the grants. And so these are actually from 2025. And so this year we had $13,000. And when I first came here, I think we started with 10. So we're growing, which is wonderful. The fund sits at $367,000. So again, we've seen some contributions. And we are aware of some of the community projects that you have that the foundation is helping with, including the hospital, the VPP, the Legion, and the Legion in town. So with that, I'll just get started. Well, actually, before that, I should also let you know that we have great community support. The members that sit on the committee to help with the grant calculating and so forth. So Ginny Newman, Mike Bork, Linda Smith, Steve Mayu, Sarah Milner, and Rosanna Orcad. So they're great to work with, and it's excellent when we have good participation. So we'll get started. So there'll be nine recipients here tonight. I'm going to have them come up, and we'll take a quick picture, and then we'll get a picture with with the whole group. If that,
We'd also like to get a picture as well, so.
for sure. Okay, great.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna talk this way and then I'm gonna turn my back. And so I'm gonna be on a swivel.
Okay.
It's all that good pickleball. But anyway, so we'll actually start with the Central Lambton Family Health Team, and Sarah's here. So come up, everybody can come. Good, good. And Amy's gonna be our photographer.
Pretty smile up here.
Thanks for the reminder.
Great, congratulations. Would they like to say a few
Yes,
words?
would you like to? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. We can, yeah. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, just to let us know what it's for and
Sure.
just in a nutshell.
So these funds will go towards our patient care fund that we've launched this year. This would be used for people that are patients who maybe there's a medical related or health related cost that they're not able to afford but would support their health. So we have a process in place for that, and we've actually we have had one person access that account already for some formula, baby formula that was a specialized one. So thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Okay, and then we'll have the Charlotte Eleanor Engelhart Hospital, and it's Mark is coming up, and I met Mark for the first time here tonight, so it's great. Much.
Mark?
Well,
Never sure.
evening. As you all know, the greatest news has come to our community most recently, that our upgrade of our great hospital, our old hospital, is going to get newer, and that'll be going out for bids soon. And hopefully we'll start breaking ground this year. And you'll know it's happening when there's plastic sheets running down the hallway. We have to keep the hospital open, the ER, radiology, so they'll work on one side, do the upgrades to the other side, but can't thank yous enough, and you're going to see a lot of us, so bless you.
Thank you, Mark.
And the Kiwanis Club, Petrolia area, and is Spencer here tonight?
Here.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot.
Oh, there we go.
I was looking at my head on the screen.
Okay.
Hey there. So Kiwanis really appreciates this grant money. It's going to be used for our Fiery Faces event, which Liz knows a lot about. And it's really going to be used for safety on the event. We have a lot of people coming to Petrolia Discovery, and it's dark and there's kids running around and older people running around, and it was raining last year. So this is used for some lights and for some permanent light up signage to kind of make things flow a little bit better and to be overall safer. So we really appreciate this, and thanks to everyone for thinking of Kiwanis. And we're looking for new members too. If anyone wants to join.
Yeah, Lambton County Development Services, and Nick, I think you're here, so. Yeah.
Everyone shows up when you're.
Yeah.
Wonderful time of the year.
I'm gonna say that to everybody now.
Unlike Spencer, I was looking at my double chins on this. It's always, it's proud. A lot of us have been here for our entire lives. So to be even considered amongst the group and to receive funds like this is pretty special for us. We're going to be using the funds to try to bring some of that heritage spark back to town at the old post office building with some signage. Hopefully that's public facing that will help visitors and people understand the social impact and connection that building has to LCDS and inclusive and just the community building work that we do. So we wouldn't really be able to do that. We're not funded for signage and stuff like that. So this is huge. It doesn't sound overly exciting to many people, but signage for us to let people know who we are and what we do is really special. So thank you, Petrolia Community Fund. We are not looking for members, but if we are, I'll definitely.
Thank you, Nick.
This is great. So Lambton Literacy and Julie is here tonight. Great to meet you earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't really have anything prepared. We are currently running a program for grades 3 and 4 at the Lions Club. It's a free 8-week program for math and literacy. So these funds will be used towards next year's program. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The Petrolia District Skating Club, and I think is Amanda here? Other side.
Yeah, keep the check.
Hello, my name is Amanda Ray, and I'm the president of the Petroleum District Skating Club. On behalf of our board and all our members, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to the Petrolia Community Fund for supporting our club with this very generous grant. This funding will help us supplement our coaching costs for the season. To enhance the quality of our programming, we increased our NCCP certified coaching staff from 1 to 3 coaches for our pre-can skate session and from 2 to 3 coaches for our Sunday and Tuesday can skate sessions. These improvements allow our skaters to receive more one-on-one instruction and more frequent assessments from qualified coaches. We are proud participants in the Skate Ontario Can Skate Excellence Recognition Program, and support like this helps us maintain that standard. Our club is committed to keeping Learn to Skate programs affordable for local families while never compromising on quality. Our goal is to ensure that every child in our community has the opportunity to learn to skate, whether for fun, for hockey, or for the future figure skating pursuits. Thank you again for your generosity and continued support.
I like your crest too.
The St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church, and I think is Patty here tonight?
These funds are wonderful. We started this program at the church to help with the food shortage that we're hearing about in the community. And we started off with 58 students. We offer free hot dogs, chips, and beverages every Friday while school is in session. And we're now serving an average of 300 students a week. Some kids have told us when they're leaving, it's the only meal they're going to get that day. And it's kind of breaks your heart to hear that. But it is an amazing experience to see these kids come in. They're amazing kids. They're so polite. They're thankful. They're clean up after themselves. I mean, it's just very uplifting. So we can't do it without donations like this. So thank you, everybody.
And I've seen the lineup too.
Amazing.
Had the opportunity to go to one of the Boomers lunches, and I sat with some individuals who were helping go and do the preparation, and they said that how you know, it's just so great for the community and impactful and helps a lot of kids if it's their only meal of the day. So it's good work that everybody. We have the St. Paul's United Church, and I'm not, there's, might be a group, if Ruth, Joyce, or Nicole, or if everybody.
You might get less.
Oh, well,
Yeah, there he
don't
is.
let him talk.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Mike.
Yes.
And
Oh, there she is.
yeah.
So sweet.
You've heard an awful lot of numbers tonight, and I don't want to make your ears bleed, but just as a quick summary, we're in our 4th year now. We're running the Petrolia Community Refrigerator. And in line of what everything else has happened here tonight, in 2023, we rescued about 121,000 pounds of food. In 2024, that was up to 127,000 pounds. And last year in 2025, nearly 114,000 pounds of food. The amount of greenhouse gas that has been headed off was nearly 114 tons in 23, nearly 151,000 pounds in 24, and up to 184,900 pounds in 25. So we're going up and up and up. Those are huge numbers, I know. In 2023, we provided nearly 27,500 meals, 24, 34,600, and 25, 43,230. So it's growing, growing, growing. The food rescued amount was 14 tons in 23, 18 tons in 24, and 22 tons in 25. So everything is going up and up. The town is not getting that much bigger, but the need is getting greater and greater. We have currently approximately 120 people who use the services regularly. We have over 40, maybe sometimes as many as 50 volunteers that help us and we have never asked for, nor have we ever received any money other than donation. We've never asked for municipalities to support us, and nobody has. We've come dangerously close to running out of money many times, but we haven't yet had to use red ink at the end of the month. So for that, we thank you. And for those of you who realize that you pay an enormous amount of money for the water that we drain out of Lake Huron and come into the town of Petrolia, for your information, since we've been in operation for three years now, according to the figures that they gave us for calculation, by all of the food that we would otherwise go into landfill and so on, that they tell us that we have saved 42,727,220 liters of water. So Lake Huron, the water levels are probably getting up. We're not using it so much. So thank you very much. Nicole?
Incredible, absolutely incredible. And then we have Wade from the YMCA for the canopy. Great.
I think you guys heard before, so.
Before I close, Amy Vasey, she's our fund developer. She's here with me tonight. She's taking the photos, and so she's working within our organization to help around the affordable housing piece that's happening in Sarnia. But we're also actively involved in, again, helping the funds grow here in the community, as well as in Alvinston with their community fund. Also, I have one of my board members here, Teresa Kimmerly. She's our vice chair of the Sarnia Community Foundation. It's great to have the support of her here this evening. So that concludes the presentation for tonight, but I'd be more than happy to come to council and give a kind of a full report if you'd like on the fund. I'm not sure that I've done that in the tenure that I've had here, but I'd be more than happy to come and talk about the fund and some of the mechanics around how the foundation and the fund works. So.
Before you go, Mike, I want to thank you for your presentation. I want to congratulate, and I'd like to say winners because it's still nice to get that money. Congratulations. And I think you want to get a picture with everyone.
I do, yes.
So maybe if they want to just go outside there, and
For
that'd
sure.
be great. So all the winners, please go outside. Or
Would you like to join us?
Well, they're looking for winners. Get going.
I guess I will.
Don't tell him he's photogenic.
And hear the end of it. Thanks.
Okay, now I'll do this again when it's not making.
No,
so much
not
noise.
the stage where-
That's good. Good for everyone.
There's some pretty amazing groups here.
Yeah.
We're a small community.
Thanks.
Oh, I got half a glass.
Oh, you missed it.
Like the
Where are you on the list? Are you?
first two.
He likes to start with a different person.
We'll be here.
Not it. What's positive about showing? That's a lot of.
That's amazing.
Mm.
Big groups.
There you go.
Mm.
Sure, he just be ready to do it.
Well, Deputy Mayor, now's your chance. Take over.
Where's the chair?
Yeah. Oh, is the water Lake Huron higher now?
Oh, right.
Food diversion, waste diversion. Yeah.
Put me in the back.
You say you were photogenic.
Yeah.
Are we still being recorded?
Mhm.
Okay. Nice.
Share some photos with me.
Okay, next on our list, we have the presentation from Aqua. And I'll ask Sam, Joe, Michon, and Robin maybe to come forward, or who wants to take the lead here.
Here,
Perfect.
Okay,
got back to follow there.
the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Your Worship, council and staff for having us here today. I'm Joe Daly, Senior Ops Manager with Aqua. This is my colleague, Megan Garber.
Hi, everyone. I'm the Safety Process and Compliance Manager with Aqua as well.
Okay, so we have the annual report for the Petrolia drinking water system here today. On page 1 of the report, there's a compliance report card. You can see we had 1 inspection from the MECP. We completed 1 external audit, had 2 adverse water quality incidents or AWQIs, 1 non-compliance, 5 community complaints, 0 spills, and 4 water main breaks. All these will be touched on a little more later in the report. So for the AWQIs, the first one, July 14th, we had a no data overgrowth with non-target bacteria or NDO-GN bacteria sample result. These are typically due to sampling or lab error. Corrective action for this one is to resample upstream, downstream, and at the same sample location to confirm there is no real water quality issue. Sample results came back clean for these corrective actions. Our second AWQI was for filter performance in the month of July. So our filter turbidity needs to be within limits 99% of the time they are operating. In the month of July, our filters were within limits for 98.78% of the time. So corrective actions for this were replacing the cell and adjusting the flow on the turbidity analyzer in question. We also updated the performance review from monthly to every 72 hours to intervene on these issues earlier, allowing us to correct the issues before an AWQI occurs. The MECP inspected the Petrolia drinking water system on November 27th of 2025 for the period of November 1st, 24 to October 31st, 2025. An inspection rating of 95.77% was received from this inspection with one non-compliance. I'll pass it off to Megan to further explain this non-compliance.
Thanks, Joe. So the non-compliance was received as a result of not having our treatment units meet all of its capabilities. This is quite a vague non-compliance to receive and touches on a few different points in the inspection period, one being that filter performance in July, which was not met at that 99% rule. We also had some issues with our integrity testing, which is a test that we have to run on a routine basis as part of the procedure for disinfection to ensure that our filter membranes are not compromised and that nothing is able to pass through those membranes that shouldn't be able to pass. Additionally, we also had some issues with our chlorine contact tank dimensions, which were clarified by the contractor as just a misstep in our municipal drinking water license that was not clarified during that time. However, we were able to show the ministry that that did not impact our ability to meet our contact time and therefore ensure that the water was disinfected before going out to consumers. So basically that non-compliance was just to say that we did not operate those treatment components that are dire to the safety of the drinking water as they were intended, given we did not meet that 99% rule, and we did have that discrepancy in the dimensions of those clear well tanks.
Thanks, Megan. That leads us into flows. So in table 5, you can see our raw flow data. Maximum flow rate for the year was 10,824 liters per minute, with a total daily water taking of 15,586 meters cubed. We did not exceed the permit to take water, and according to these results, we are currently operating at 29.7% of the total water taking limit. Raw flows have increased 6.8% when comparing 2025 to 2024. Table 6 shows our treated water flows. The rated capacity of the plant is 12,000 meters cubed per day. Our average daily flow was 3,827 meters cubed per day, with our maximum daily flow at 5,969 meters cubed per day. The plant is operating at 31.9% of the rated capacity, and the flows have increased 4% when comparing to 2024. In this report, you can see in February of 2025, the water treatment plant was unable to supply potable water due to fragile ice conditions. Due to these issues, 3,520.35 meters cubed was taken from the Lambton area water supply system. For microbiological testing, all results were good for the year, other than the one issue specified earlier as an AWQI. Inorganic and organic parameters, all proper testing was conducted, and no sample results exceeded half the maximum allowable concentration. Additional legislated samples. The water treatment plant is required to collect monthly grab samples at the point of discharge back to the lake. We test these for suspended solids and total chlorine. All sampling and testing was conducted in 2025 as per regulations, and all sample results were within limits for the year. Major maintenance. So in table 14, it lists the major projects or expenses in 2025. For the water treatment plant, we had maintenance and repairs on the Paul membranes. A low lift pump was rebuilt. Neutralization tank and compressor repairs also took place. At the Mandalman booster station, refurbishment of a motor control center or MCC and replacement of one variable frequency drive or VFD for the booster pumps was completed. At the distribution system, projects completed include mainline valve repair, 4 hydrant and or secondary repairs, 1 hydrant replacement, 6 service line repairs. We had a third party conduct leak detection survey confirming there were no leaks in the system. And phase 1 of the Petrolia line water main commissioning was completed. This one went from the bridge at Bear Creek and ended at Kintail. All for the report. You have any questions?
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for your presentation. And we do have copies of the report. I'll open it up for council. Any questions from council? Councillor Hyatt, go ahead.
So one question
Through your worship, yeah.
through you. Under the treatment chemicals, it talks about using caustic soda in the process at 25%. Is it an option to buy it at 50% and reduce it in the plant to try and save costs from shipping? I don't know how much caustic is used in the process, but just from a question standpoint.
Through your worship. So that is a cleaning chemical, and we're regulated by our municipal drinking water license on what chemicals we can purchase and use in our system. So in order to do that, we would have to go through an amendment to our license and go through the ministry to get approval to do that. We also have strict requirements to make sure that we're meeting ANSI and NSF requirements for any chemicals that are used in the treatment plant. So although it could likely be explored, that would be something that would have to go through a significant, approval process and having a change like that made.
Would it be worth exploring from a cost standpoint to see what the impact is from purchasing 50% caustic to 25% and reducing it? Obviously, we have a lot of supply of water, so we could reduce the concentrations.
For sure. That chemical, though, is only used on a quarterly basis in the cleaning process.
Not a high consumption.
No, not high consumption at all. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Councillor Welsh.
Through, we usually see the ministry report on our annual report as well.
Through your worship to Councillor. Yeah, we can get you that report, no problem. That's on me, I apologize. And then you can forward any questions that you may have with that report.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from council? Okay, if not, thank you for coming to address council. Now, we do have a motion. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say something. Yeah, through your worship, I can't say enough good things about the Aqua team. Joe, Megan, Robin, Sam. They're great. They're easy to get a hold of. Joe's stepped in for Sam. He's doing a great job. If I need anything from Joe, he's a phone call or text away. I'd like to also compliment their staff in boots on the ground. Devin, Chelsea, Hunter, the team. Cannot say enough good things about Aqua. So thanks.
Appreciate hearing that. Thank you. And thank you. We do have a motion from council. You can go ahead and sit down. You have a motion before you. I'd like to ask for a mover and a second to put that on the floor for further discussion. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Hyatt. I will ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the council of the town of Petrolia to endorse as presented the 2025 annual Brights Grove Water Treatment Plant report as presented by the Ontario Clean Water Agency.
Any further discussion? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. All right, that'll take us now. We have a delegation from Julie Welker, Source Protection Coordinator, and I think she's online. Julie, can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
Clear. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me this evening, Your Worship and Council. I appreciate being here, and this is great. I didn't know Aqua was going to give a presentation, so this is kind of great to piggyback on what they had to say since we're about source water protection. With that, my name is Julie Welker. I'm the Source Protection Coordinator for the Thames-Sydenham Source Protection Region. And I'm obligated to come to council anytime there's amendment that might relate to your district. So that is why I'm here today. And I understand you have my presentation. I believe you're going to pull that up maybe.
Yep, just one moment here.
Perfect.
And yes, we do have a copy of your presentation.
Wonderful. Great. So we can move along to the next slide, please. Okay, so the purpose of the Clean Water Act is to protect existing and future sources of drinking water from contamination or depletion. Of course, this program, the source water program came into being because of what happened in Walkerton in 2000. So this drinking water source protection program is a multi-stakeholder, collaborative, locally driven process to protect our municipal drinking water systems. Next slide, please. The Thames-Sydenham Source Protection Region encompasses the Upper Thames watershed, St. Clair Region watershed, and the Lower Thames. And together we form that Thames Sydenham region. So we look after all the source water systems as it relates to municipal drinking water systems, whether it's surface water within the Great Lakes or the ground with wells, mostly in Upper Thames. Next slide, please. Okay, so we're bound by a lot of technical rules. There is the technical rules to describe, or sorry, to delineate our vulnerable areas around a drinking water system. It's all science-based, and this also allows us to determine the vulnerability to various contaminations. The province has identified 22 prescribed drinking water threats to our drinking water. So this delineation is very helpful for us to know where policy needs to be applied to best serve the protection of our drinking water. Next slide, please. We have two guiding documents that help us keep this program on track and moving forward. The one is our source protection plan, and this is where we house all of our policies. And this is all the policies within this plan is developed by the Source Protection Committee, which is a multi-stakeholder committee, and Aqua does sit on this committee, so I was happy to see them there or here this evening. And it lays out how we're going to roll out these policies. What tools are we going to use, whether it's prohibition, management, education, or outreach for various threats to our water. And then the assessment report, this is where we house all the science. So this is where any system that we have in our region, it's all in the assessment report, and it will describe pumping rates, distance, its connection with the aquifer, et cetera. So this is has to be amended anytime there is a system change. Next slide, please. So under the Clean Water Act, we are allowed to make amendments if there's a new or changing system, or if there's updates to technical rules. So we did just do a comprehensive amendment due to technical rules that were changed. So you might have seen that report at some point or another. Next slide, please. So why I'm here this evening, of course, the Brights Grove replacement intake is happening, and you'll be more than well aware of this. The existing intake was constructed in 1944, so it's reached its end of service life. The Class EA was conducted and recommended a new intake, approximately in the same location, about 15 meters away or so. The next steps were to model the intake protection zone 1 and 2. So these are the delineated areas around that intake to best serve the protection of that intake. And this was done according to the 2021 technical rules under the Clean Water Act. The Source Protection Authority didn't ask for the IPZ or Intake Protection Zone 3 to be remodeled, just because we weren't expecting a big impact to the changes with this new intake. Blumetric was hired, and they did more advanced modeling than the original modeling. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment, because their results did come up as slightly different than what the previous delineation looked like. So we can go to the next slide, and I'll describe the map. So the top map on the top where it says current, that's what it looks like today. So that green dot is that intake. Of course, the red circle, that's your intake protection zone 1. It's always 1,000 kilometer radius. So, and then you have your intake protection zone 2, which is that orange color. And that, of course, goes in water and on land. This was done like through, I'm trying to think of the consultant, but they did like a three-directional wind model. So when Blumetric came along, they did like an 8-direction wind model and a little bit more comprehensive modeling overall, and their IPZ2 came out a little bit different. So when we went through our early engagement with the ministry, they flagged this, and we also flagged this as something we weren't quite expecting. So what we decided was we were going to combine the existing, the current, and the proposed. So what you see below is both of those, just to be on the conservative side, to ensure that we've captured everything. And then you will also note the IPZ1, the red circle, it's now a full circle. And there was changes to the technical rules, but really what it's doing is it's ensuring we're capturing any drains that are leading to, like, directly to that intake. that we're giving it extra protection if needed. Next slide, please. So this is just a little bit of a more close-up. So what you'll see is the orange coloring has now gone south of the 402. And yeah, I mean, you can see the two maps and compare, but again, we combine the two, the proposed and the current, just to be conservative. Next slide, please. So how will this impact the town of Petrolia or your area? To have significant threats associated with any of these zones, the score must be above 8. And when the consultants did their modeling, it matched what the current intake scores are for vulnerability. And the intake for the zone 1, that red circle, is 7, and the orange area, the intake protection zone 2, comes out as a 6.3. So these don't qualify for any significant drinking water threats in this area. So we won't have any policies that will apply, which is good news for us, for you. So there shouldn't be any concerns with these new changes. Next slide, please. When I did go and look through, okay, do we have moderate and low drinking water threat policies that could apply? We have 2. And this is really just areas where you could take extra precautions if the municipality desires to do so. So we have policy 3.01, and this is really for septic systems, and it's up to the municipality if you want to do a discretionary maintenance inspection through the building code. And then the second one is policy 3.02, and that's really for the ministry just to add in to modify pesticide permits into their conditions, any licenses that they put out there. But neither of these are mandatory, and these are just specify action or have regard for. And I will mention, as I said earlier in the presentation, we didn't ask for the intake protection zone 3 to be remodeled. This is where we do have some policies that apply. Fuel is the biggest threat for that at about 15,000 and 34,000 liters. So this really, what that looks like is if you had a big tanker truck spill and that spilled into the closest ditch or drainage area, how fast would it get to that intake? So that has been modeled and that still exists. There's no change to any of that. And we do have a risk management official that works on behalf of this area and that keeps an eye on those types of things. Next slide, please. So for the amendment process, where we're at, we've done the early engagement, which is where I take all of the consultants' reports and amended assessment report, and I take it to the ministry, and we go back and forth on make any changes. And then we go into pre-consultation with implementers. So that is yourselves, like as a municipality, any other ministry that may have any policies within our plan. And then council resolution is part of that in order for us to move into public consultation. Once we've done public consultation, we'll do final submission to MECP, and then water can be turned on once this has all been satisfied. And I believe that water wants to be, or the plan is for water to be turned on in the fall. So that is the goal, to get this all wrapped up before that period. And I believe that is it. I am happy to take any questions you may have.
Well, thank you, Ms. Welker, for your presentation. And again, we do have copies of that presentation, but I will open it up to council. If they have any questions from council. Seeing none, we do have a motion before you. I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to put that motion on the floor. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Welsh. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is whereas the existing Petrolia intake on Lake Huron has reached the end of life for its service life, and whereas the Council of the Town of Petrolia has received a pre-consultation presentation from Ms. Julie Welker of Source Protection Coordinator. Now therefore the Council of the Town of Petrolia endorses the Petrolia intake replacement project to result in a new intake in approximately the same location as the existing location as planned and presented.
Any questions from council? Not. All those in favor of approving that motion? Opposed? That motion carries. Again, Mrs. Welker, thank you for coming to speak to council tonight.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Moving on the agenda, we have the community announcements. There's a motion before you. I'll ask for a move and a second to put that on the agenda. Moved by Councillor Hyatt, seconded by Deputy Mayor Field. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to receive as information only the February 9th, 2026 community announcements as presented.
Any questions from council? Ms. Smith, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Not at this time. Thank you, Your Worship.
All I would like to add is don't forget it's Family Day weekend coming up. Please take part in all the activities if possible. I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving that motion? Opposed? That motion carries. This brings us to the first opportunity for anyone wishing to address council. Seeing none, we'll move on to the financial accounts report. You have a motion before you. Again, I'll ask for a motion to put that on the floor for discussion. Moved by Deputy Mayor Field, seconded by Councillor Clark. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to receive and file the December 2nd, 2025 through December 30th, 2025 general financial accounts.
Councillor Clark, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from council? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving those accounts? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us on to administration. We have a report from Miss Jessica Smith, Manager of Legislative Services, Human Resource Manager, Deputy Clerk, regarding business licenses and sign permits issued until January 2026. Business license and sign permits issued until January 2026. And I know we have a great number. I'll have a motion before you. I'll ask for a move and a second to put that on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Wells, seconded by Councillor Hyatt. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
Thank you. And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to receive and file the Manager of Legislative Services, Deputy Clerk, Human Resource Manager's report dated February 9th, 2026 regarding business licenses and signage permits issued.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Smith, do you have, oh, sorry, Councillor O'Hara, go ahead.
How's that, excuse me, how's that compared to other years? About the same?
Go ahead.
Actually, I would say it's likely higher than several other years, and that would be because of some of the boots on the ground and communication with our downtown business liaison. Denise does an excellent job making sure that the businesses who come to town are well informed of the process and make sure we get them in for the business license and the sign permits, whereas in some years past, those things haven't always been captured.
Okay. Thank you. And again, back to you though, Ms. Smith, do you have anything in addition you'd like to add to that?
I do not, just that I appreciate the partnership with Denise and with the planning department and the building department. We've come a long way in terms of the process and communication.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from council? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us on to a report from Will Nywening, Senior Planner, regarding the County of Lambton Subdivision File 38-2T 2504, Proposed Conditions of the Draft Subdivision Approval. I'm not going to read all that in front of you. You've got it before you. I'll ask for a move and a seconder to put that on the floor for further discussion. Moved by Deputy Mayor Field, seconded by Councillor Welsh. And I will ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
That is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to endorse the proposed conditions of draft approval as presented in the report from the County of Lambton Development Services Department dated February 9th, 2026, respecting subdivision file 38T 25004.
Any other questions from council? Mr. Nywening, oh, sorry, go ahead, Councillor Hyatt.
I have 3 questions.
Yeah, through the chair, please.
Would you like them all at the same time, or would you
Sure,
like them?
do them all. Sure.
So I guess question number 1 is whether or not we could duplicate block number 339, which is the walkway in the northwest corner, duplicate that in the northeast corner so that there's a pathway out of the subdivision to the amenities at the corner of Oil Heritage and Petrolia Line.
Okay, I think I will stop you there. I'll change my mind. We will do one at a time. Would you like to respond to that, please?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So it's something that we could consider, but I think the Director of Public Works would probably like to speak to that as well.
Yep.
Right,
Through
go
your
ahead.
worship,
Yep.
to Councillor Hyatt. Thanks, Will. Yeah, we talked about that today, Councillor Hyatt. The walkway on the northwest side, there's actually infrastructure going through there. That's going to be the force main. An additional walkway on the northeast side would be problematic because there's no sidewalk there. We did look into putting a sidewalk in with this next phase of the water main, but the issue is at the corner of Derby and Oil Heritage Road. The property is quite narrow there when you come beside Mr. Brand's place. So, and there's no curb or anything like that. So to get a walkway through there down to like say maybe a multi-use path, which would veer over more to the west of the road allowance, would be great. But the problem is right there at the corner of Derby and Oil Heritage Road. There's not much room and there's no curb and what have you. So we could explore it further, but this would be the optimal place to have it in the northwest corner, and then they could scoot up Mutual and then across that new sidewalk down Derby. But I do understand why you suggested that, but we could talk to Southside. But from a public works perspective and talking to the county, that's kind of a pinch point at the corner of Derby and Old Heritage. There's not much real estate there, public real estate.
Because I just envisioned a whole bunch of kids walking down 21 Highway to get to McDonald's or the variety store. I think that's going to be a big issue if we're not providing some sort of access along 21 Highway. So just my concern.
Did you want to speak to that or? Okay, go ahead, Deputy Mayor Field.
Yeah, just a follow-up, and I did talk to Councillor Hyatt regarding this. With this being in the farthest phase, we could be looking at a number of years from now before they're even into that final thing. So it still could be something that, we look at down the road if things change, but that could be 6, 7, 8 years from now before they even get down there. So
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Field. Councillor Hyatt, go ahead.
My second question is, it talks about adding a berm behind block 333 to block the view of the old waste management site. But doesn't really talk about anything behind block 334 or 335. So the question is whether or not it would make sense to make a uniform appearance and have a berm the entire length of the development. It would also help with noise on the road and also help with the visual that's coming off off Oil Heritage into the backyards of the townhouses that are all going to be placed along that line.
Will, would you like to speak to that, please?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So my first comment to that is that there was nothing from county roads or public works to indicate that there was any need to address noise with respect to traffic. And there are alternative ways that might be available to deal with those types of issues as well, such as perimeter fencing. So it's something that we could look at, but also berms also present a bit of a maintenance issue sometimes as well. So something like a fence might be preferable to a berm, but it's something that we could talk to county roads and to your public works department about. And is this something as well that our director of public works would like to speak to?
Through
Yeah,
your
go ahead,
worship,
Mike.
Councillor Hyatt. Yeah, well, I think that's a good idea to maybe explore other avenues as opposed to a berm, like potentially a fence or what have you. But if
Just so I'm clear though, at the present time, the county roads department didn't have any concerns with that.
Through you, that is correct.
Thank you. Councillor Welsh. Oh, sorry. Are you finished?
I have one more question.
Oh, no, go ahead. No.
To the berm, can I?
Oh, okay.
Was it not in that D4 report from Waste Management about having a berm along there, along the whole stretch?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it did come from that D4 report, and it was limited to, there's an area there where the county road allowance is narrower. There's a jog in the road allowance, and where that jog exists, the intent was to convey that 10-meter jog to the county road allowance to make it uniform. It wasn't being conveyed to the county because the county needed a road widening, but because that D4 report was recommending that there be a berm, and it was only recommending it for that area because that aligns with the proximity to the waste management. So it was just for that area where there's that 10-meter road widening was the recommendation.
Thank you. Councillor Hyatt.
Okay,
You have another one?
sorry, my last question.
Go ahead.
Through you. In this proposed plan, we're looking at putting a pumping station on the property that's zoned open space. Is that allowable from our zoning perspective and our official plan to put a pumping station on the parkland?
Yeah, I'll ask Mr. Nyman if you'll speak to that, please. Regarding that
Yes,
zoning.
Mr. Mayor. So your official plan and zoning allow municipal infrastructure to go in any zone. And I actually saw an updated draft plan with some minor revisions from the proponent because I had told them some of the changes that are recommended in these conditions of draft approval. And so they forwarded an updated plan to say, is this what you are contemplating? And as part of that update, they actually carved out the pumping station as a separate block from the park. And I think the purpose of that would be so that the pumping station would not count as parkland dedication, that would be considered infrastructure, and that whatever number of point something hectares would not be accepted as parkland. So that's something that I think is a good change, and I was intending to incorporate into the conditions of draft approval.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
And will this pumping station be like above ground, or will it be below grade? Like, will it be a building sitting on the corner of the property, or do we know what the design of?
Mr. Mayor, I would defer that again to Public Works.
Maybe it's too early.
Through your worship, yeah, there'll be a building.
There'll be a building.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from council? You've heard the motion. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Just before we go on, I wonder, Will, if you'd like to introduce Emily to council. I don't get a chance to see her very often.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that, Mr. Mayor. So sitting beside me is Emily Tifo. Emily is our newest planner, junior planner with the County of Lambton. So Emily is, she has some experience working on the private side and joined us in November. So right now she's helping out in Petrolia and Wyoming, and Plimpton, Wyoming, that is. And because both municipalities are great municipalities to learn in, and the files are of a nature that are good to learn how to write reports and process applications. So Emily will be assisting in Petrolia for the time being, and not necessarily in the long term, but for now, you'll see her face here from time to time, and occasionally she's had days where she's working out of the office here as well. And so this is Emily.
Thank you, Will. Emily, welcome.
Nice to meet everyone.
This was not rehearsed, was it? All right, let's move on. We have a report from the financial analyst and senior tax administrator, Ms. Jayla Saunders, regarding the Ministry of Transportation Pothole Prevention Repair Program. You have a motion before you. I'll ask for a move and a second to put that on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Hyatt, seconded by Councillor Welsh. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to receive the report of the financial analyst and senior tax administrator, Jayla Saunders, dated February 2nd, 2026, regarding the Ministry of Transportation Pothole Prevention and Repair Program, which is a multi-year program, and that council authorizes the mayor and CAO treasurer to enter into the transfer payment agreement for the 2025 funds to be received. And whereas this is a multi-year funding program by the Ministry of Transportation, council authorizes the mayor along with the CAO treasurer and/or clerk to enter into future TPA agreements once issued.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. And this is great news for the town, looking at 38,000. And before I open it up to council, I'd like to pass on to the CAO, Mr. Charlebois, to make sure you thank Ms. Saunders for applying for that grant. Any questions from council? Call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us now to fire emergency management. We have a report from Rick Cousins, Director of Public Safety, Fire Chief, regarding the Fire Chief Vehicle Replacement Procurement Exemption Request. And you've got a motion before you. I'll ask for a mover and a second to put that on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Hyatt. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to receive the report of the Director of Public Safety and Fire Chief dated the 9th day of February, 2026, regarding purchasing of a replacement fire chief vehicle, and that council provide an exemption to Section 5.0 of Bylaw 39 of 2018, allowing for the purchase of a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive elevation truck from McFarland Chevrolet for $67,000 plus applicable taxes, and that the fire chief install the required lights and decals and purchase any special fire equipment needed.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. Just want to remind council, we're looking at a $90,000 expenditure with the additions. Any questions from council? Fire Chief, do you have anything oh, sorry, Deputy Mayor Field, go ahead.
Yeah, with that $90,000, that is, it's a 60-40 split between.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
And, sorry, just
Go
follow
ahead.
through you with the last. This does not need to go back to fire management. This is already a budget line that's there. That's very good news.
That's good news. Chief Cousins, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Did you have something?
I did.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
please.
Councillor Wells,
I
through the
just-
chair,
Through
please.
you. I'm just wondering what special equipment will be installed.
Okay, good question. Through you, your worship, we'll have to put a radio in it, and then we'll have to have an iPad.
I think the items were listed, I think, were they
Yeah.
not?
Well, and the iPad, I believe, was not, but, so other than that, the other stuff is going to be the decals and everything and the siren, so. And that's all I'll cover.
Councillor Wells.
Will it be pink?
No, and it's not, the existing one is not pink, it's Rogers red. It will be in between fire engine red and the Rogers color, and it's called cardinal red.
Thank you. And I'm pleased to see it's a local purchase too.
Yeah.
All right.
And if I could, through you.
Go ahead.
Your worship, just one other thing is just, this is, just came to fruition on Friday that we're able to get another $1,500 off of that vehicle from McFarland's.
Oh,
So,
great. Well, that's always good news. Thank
Yeah.
you, Chief Cousins. All right. Any other questions from council? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us on now Parks and Recreation Facilities. We have a report from Mrs. Julie Bullock, Director of Parks Recreation Facilities, regarding the Victoria Hall window repair quote for Victoria Hall window repair quote. And you have a motion before you. I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to put that on the floor for discussion, please. Moved by Councillor Wells, seconded by Councillor Clark. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to adopt the report of the Director of Parks, Recreation and Facilities dated February 9th, 2026 regarding Victoria Hall window repair quote, and that the Council of the Town of Petrolia approve the quote from Burke Renovations in the amount of $36,340 plus HST.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. Any questions from council? Mrs. Bullock, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Nothing at this time, your worship.
Okay, thank you. Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving that motion? Opposed? That motion carries. We also have a report from Mrs. Julie Bullock, Director of Parks, Recreation Facilities, regarding the YMCA Fitness Equipment Replacement Program. And again, you've read the material, but I'll ask for a move and a seconder to put that motion on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor O'Hara, seconded by Councillor Hyatt. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to adopt the report of the Director of Parks, Recreation and Facilities dated February 9th, 2026 regarding Petrolia YMCA fitness equipment replacement, and that council approve the purchase from Kaiser in the amount of $28,738 USD plus taxes, and that upon delivery of the new bikes, council declare the old bikes surplus and direct staff to list them on GovDeals.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Seeing none, Mrs. Bullock, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Just basically that the current bikes are original to the building, so they're nearing 20 years old. They might only be 19 because I believe we got them kind of that 1 year in. The bikes we have 13 currently. They are well loved, well used, but it's definitely time for some new ones. So, yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Bullock. All right, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving that motion? Opposed? That motion carries. And again, we have another report from Mrs. Julie Bullock, Director of Parks and Recreation, regarding the road closure and parade request for 2026 events. I'll ask for a move and second to put that motion on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Hyatt, seconded by Councillor Clark. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
One of my favorite motions of the year. That the Council of the Town of Petrolia brought a report of the Director of Parks, Recreation and Facilities dated February 9th, 2026 regarding the 2026 events, road closures and parade routes, and that the roads listed above be approved for closure on the dates and times as listed, and that public notification be issued by the clerk operations clerk.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Again, Mrs. Bullock, anything you'd like to add?
Not at this time, Your Worship.
Pretty clear. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. And again, a report from Mrs. Julie Bullock, Director of Parks and Recreation, regarding the AGCO significant community events. And you have a motion before you. I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to put that on the floor for discussion, please. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Welsh. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to adopt the report of the Director of Parks, Recreation and Facilities and the Director of Marketing, Arts and Communications dated February 9th, 2026 regarding the AGCO significant community events, and that council approved the request to grant significant event status to the events for 2026 as listed in the report, and that the clerk be directed to produce confirmation for use with the AGCO application.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. Any questions from council? One last time, Mrs. Bullock, anything you'd like to add?
Nothing further, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us now to the second opportunity for the public to address council. Anyone wishing to address council? Don't push. Okay, moving on. Well, other business and items under strong mayor's powers. We have a notice of motion from Councillor Liz Welsh. I'll ask for a seconder to carry that on. Moved by Councillor Hyatt. And Councillor Welsh, would you like to speak to that, please?
Yes, is the clerk to read it first or?
Sure, go ahead. Mrs. Pearson, go ahead and read that.
Thank you, Your Worship and Councillor Welsh. Whereas the Town of Petrolia contracts the County of Lambton for planning services, and whereas information relating to planning in Petrolia significantly impacts the lives of residents, and information shared at public meetings fosters education and transparency, enhances trust in the civic process, and whereas public engagement ensures the facts regarding community planning are correctly communicated, and whereas these public meetings do not appear on the County of Lambton civic webpage, and whereas our mission as stated in the Town of Petrolia strategic plan is to provide exceptional leadership and to sustain the quality of life in Petrolia through fiscal responsibility and community engagement. And whereas as elected representatives and as public servants who are employed at the expense and pleasure of our residents, we have the responsibility to engage and educate the public on things that happen here and will profoundly affect their lives. And whereas the informed public is a fundamental principle of good governance and transparency, and whereas decisions are being made that affect our community in the long term and well beyond this council and staff's mandate, Now therefore it be resolved that moving forward, the town of Petrolia will post county of Lamprey public meetings and supporting relevant documentation related to the planning in the town of Petrolia on the Petrolia Civic Web portal.
Thank you. Any questions from council? I have a few things I'd like to mention. First of all, I was torn on this motion because the town has always supported working with the developers in a professional and timely fashion. This meeting organized by the county does add some additional timing and costs and money for developers, engineers to come, etc. And it is not a mandatory of the province with no appeal options and does duplicate our public meetings. I hope that this does not send the wrong message to developers. However, after speaking to our planner and considering all options, I have agreed to support this motion. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. That'll take us on. We have a notice of motion from Deputy Mayor Field, and I'll ask for a seconder to, first of all, yes, I need to ask, I think we'd like to deal with that tonight. Is that correct, Deputy Mayor Field?
Yeah, yeah, I would, if you want to, I guess we just did that with the last one.
Well, no, she was already noticed before.
Okay.
We need 2/3,
Yeah.
and I would like to deal with this tonight. So let's vote on the 2/3 to deal with
I
it
see a
tonight.
seconder move it 2/3 tonight. Your
Okay,
Worship.
seconded by Councillor Clark. All right, so everyone clear? You're voting on 2/3 to deal with that tonight. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Deputy Mayor Field, would you like to speak to that?
Sure, maybe, I was gonna read mine, but since you read Liz's, maybe.
Oh, gee, thanks. Thank you. And that is moved by Deputy Mayor Field. Whereas through recent meetings and communication with developers as a member of the Development Advisory Team, as council's liaison member, the topic of expanded lot coverage for the town of Petrolia has continuously come forward. And whereas hearing the desire from several developers for a standard lot coverage of 40%, 40, whereas in discussion with the staff at both the county and town level, it does seem possible for this expanded lot coverage to be supported in new development areas. And whereas amending our zoning bylaw for blanket amendment to allow for 40% lot coverage in all new development areas would assist in achieving the province's mandate to build more homes faster. Now therefore be it resolved that the council of the town of Petrolia provide direction to Mr. Will Nywenning, the senior planner, to return to council with additional information regarding implementation of a housekeeping amendment to allow for 40% lot coverage in all new development areas exclusively within the town of Petrolia. And to be noted, this housekeeping amendment would be applicable for new development subdivisions only, not site plan agreements or infill development.
Thank you. Now, did we get a second for that?
We do not, Your Worship.
So I'll need a seconder for that. Seconded by Councillor Clark. All right, any further discussion? Deputy Mayor Field, go ahead.
Yeah, just a few points through you. I have talked to our planner and went through it. I'm not naive. There is a lot of different things that need to be evaluated for each one of these. We have several subdivisions that have the capability of stormwater. They could look after them right now, but we need to take into account all those different things, and that's where I believe that our planner and his team can bring forward a good report to at least have a good discussion down the road. So that's why, yeah, I just don't want it to be 40%. That's it. I think there's a lot of things that need to be taken into account. So
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Field. Any other questions from council? Councillor Wells, go ahead.
Just a comment. I did, of course, Googled it, and many municipalities have gone to 40% lot coverage. And my other concern would have been the stormwater management, but as you said, that will be addressed.
Deputy Mayor Field.
yeah,
go
through
ahead.
you again. And just to point out, we do have a subdivision in Petrolia that has 40% lot coverage now. They asked for that when they put their plans in place, and it was accepted back then. So this is nothing different than we already have it in Petrolia as well. So it's not like we're doing something brand new. So
All right, thank you, Deputy Mayor Field. Councillor Hyatt, go ahead.
Maybe through you to the planners, will it have, if we make this housekeeping amendment, will it have any impact on all the work that's happening existingly in the southeast quadrant.
Mr. Nymaning, would you like to speak to that, please?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So we'll have to take this back and look at it. But the key thing is just understanding the infrastructure for developments that the stormwater management facilities have not yet been installed or designed. Then it's simply that now we want you to design it to a standard that will accommodate 40% lot coverage, and that's fairly simple. For subdivisions where those systems have already been designed, we'll have to look at whether or not they were designed to allow for 40% or not. And so it will just take a little bit of research, working with your Public Works Department to kind of do that counting of different properties and developments and identify where 40% would be a problem. And we'll have to find a way to, this would trigger the need for a zoning amendment. And that zoning amendment will have to find a way to distinguish between the properties where it can be accommodated from a servicing perspective and those properties where it can't.
Thank you, Mr. Nymaning. Any other questions from Council? Councillor Hyatt.
And sorry, in the motion, it says all zones. So you're saying R1, R2, R3, all, or you're just looking at R1?
I think that we're looking.
I think it's all zones, is it
All
not?
zones. And maybe if I'm wrong in that, in my preparation, that can come out in the report as well. That, you know, if it's not feasible to do it in certain zones, and it has to be applicable.
We'll
to
get a
the
report
site
back.
process.
So, all right. Any further questions? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us on a notice of motion that I have. And again, as you know, Mr. Sutherland has already written the minister. I have written the minister, but I think we need to have something come from all of council. So I too would like to deal with that tonight if possible, only because it's been going on. And this is in relation to the recycling in the bins. So I would like to ask council to consider 2/3 to deal with it tonight. And I'll need a seconder for that too, will I? Or you want to get a motion, a mover and a seconder?
For 2/3, please.
All right.
Yes.
Moved by Councillor Welsh, seconded by Councillor Hyatt. Any discussion regarding dealing with it tonight? Need 2/3, calling the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That's the 2/3, that carries. And now I'll need a seconder to put the motion on the floor for discussion and approval. Deputy Mayor Field, is that okay, Mrs. Pearson?
Yeah, and I can read that, Your Worship.
Okay, please.
Sorry. I think there's a bit of an error in the bottom of it.
The last paragraph. I think you want that to say return to cart collection and not return to blue box collection.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's pointed out before it's spread.
Thank you for that. That's,
I think a few people might have seen it.
Last sentence.
great. All right, that's
We
good.
don't want to go back
Thank
to
you.
it again. We've been there.
We don't.
Update has been made.
Thank
Okay.
you. I'll call a vote. Oh, sorry.
Did you want me? No.
Yeah,
no,
I'll
I
get you to
just
read
didn't know
it
if you want
with
me to
that
read it.
correction, please.
Okay, absolutely. Whereas on January 1st, 2026, as a result of the provincial shift to producer collection to the town of Petrolia residents, we're shifted from cart to blue box for curbside recycling collection. Whereas as mayor, I advocated directly with Mr. Alan Langdon, the CEO of Recycling in Ontario, Mr. Bob Bailey, MPP of Sarnia-Lambton, and the Honourable Todd McCarthy, Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, for the return of cart collection for residential recycling collection. Whereas Mr. Alan Langdon, the CEO of Recycling in Ontario, called me on Monday, December the 15th, 2025, and stated that he thought the town was using blue boxes for recycling. Whereas several municipalities around southwestern Ontario, now being serviced by Mterra under the new contracts, are being serviced through curbside cart collection and not blue box recycling collection, making it evident that curbside cart collection is able to be serviced by municipalities under the Mterra collection. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Petrolia requests that the Honourable Todd J. McCarthy, Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, review the situation and provide remedy for Recycling Ontario to return cart collection for residential recycling in the town of Petrolia.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. And again, Nothing may happen from this, but we'll see. I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. And that'll take us on now to the bylaws. I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to have the bylaws read a first and second time. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Deputy Mayor Field. All those in favor? That motion carries, and I'll ask for a motion to have the bylaws read a third time, signed, sealed, and numbered. I'll need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Hyatt, and I will ask the clerk to read those bylaws, please.
And that is for bylaw number 09 of 2026, being a bylaw of the Corporation of the Town of Petrolia to authorize the execution of an agreement with His Majesty the King and Right of Ontario as represented by the Minister of Transportation for the purpose of receiving funds for pothole prevention and repair in the Town of Petrolia, be read a third time and finally passed. And that bylaw number 10 of 2026, being a bylaw of the Corporation of the Town of Petrolia to confirm the resolutions and motions of the Council of the Town of Petrolia, which were adopted up to and including February 9, 2026, be read a third time and finally passed.
All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. And before I ask for a motion to adjourn, I just wanted to mention, I would like to thank the OPP, the EMS, tow truck drivers, municipal staff, other municipalities, and all other community agents in working together to help those in need during the winter storm this weekend. And again, a short reminder to buy local and Canadian if possible. And I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Deputy Mayor Field, seconded by Councillor Clark. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the February 9th, 2026 regular meeting of council. The Town of Petrolia be adjourned to the next regular scheduled meeting of council to be held on Monday, February 23rd, 2026, or to call of the chair.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearson. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.